Hello, everybody, and welcome yet again to another edition of the Dark Match. We will be talking about the March 1st, 2012 edition of TNA Impact Wrestling.
Boo.
As usual, I am No Leaf Clover, and joining me tonight are...
Hey, I'm Christopher Says DarkMatch is Mastodon of the Monotone.
I'm the match striker of DarkMatch, Megafighter Free.
I'm the sexy one, Tiefus, and tonight we've got a very special Blossom edition of the Iron Sheik tweet.
Awesome.
Sure, why not? Just go with it.
Okay.
Anyway, here we go. I respect the people, but the Chris Brown deserved to get fucked by dead dog in the ass.
I will not disagree with him.
It's a dead dog.
Wait, how would he get fucked in the ass by a dead dog?
It'd be a dead dog with machine parts.
Zombie.
Zombie dog?
No, not a zombie.
Dog.
That's an undead dog. We're talking about
Not a dog would be a vampire dog.
an augmented cyborg corpse.
That doesn't.
With the dog sparkle?
No, that's not what he said. Do you think
That's a
she...
Frankenstein monster.
Why would she come up with something that advanced?
I'd honestly like to wish there was an invention that made visual representations of what's going on in people's minds. Sheik would be one of the first people I'd
Oh yeah, that'd be
see
awesome.
the result of it.
Anyway, we need
There'd
to
be too many
get
reasons.
Chris Brown in touch with Frank and Weenie.
Mm.
Yeah, there's a reference. Someone got it. Yeah. Going
I
old
didn't
school.
get it. I just thought it was fucking ridiculous.
It's an old school Tim Burton movie.
No.
Anyways, let's move on to...
He's remaking it.
Let's move on to TNA Impact. Stuff happened.
Yeah.
For the dark match, I'm Billy Clover.
You're not getting off that easy.
God damn it.
Some good stuff happened.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
Prove it.
Okay. Unfortunately, that'll have to wait for another 30, 40, however long it'll take for us to get to the main
Yeah,
event.
30, 40 minutes until the good part of a 2-hour show. That's
It's like Final Fantasy 13 from what I understand.
God!
Oh!
Ah.
But, yeah. We basically start off with our recaps. The first one, Sting and Rude's whole thing where Sting starts smearing black makeup on his face, and, of course, that indicates that he's transitioning into the Joker persona. And- But not so you'd notice it later. Our next, this isn't so much a recap as before the show. Kurt Angle cuts a very excited promo about all the reasons why he cost Jeff Hardy the title and why he hates Jeff Hardy that he will reveal at the beginning of the show.
And no...
Kind of pointless.
Oh, you'll
About
see
to
why
cut
nobody
like
cares when he does it.
2 minutes.
Same fucking reasons every bad heel that needs a reason to do anything uses.
Nah, I thought it was pretty humorous actually.
We'll get into it. Let's go ahead and explain what it was, and then I'll explain why I didn't like it, and you can explain why you liked it.
Basically because I thought it was completely irreverent. Like I thought it was just like ridiculous. Kurt Angle, the first reason is he says he's got long hair and I don't have any at all. He says he wears makeup on his face and freaking socks on his freaking arms. and
See, I didn't like that. I mean, the whole he has long hair and I don't have any at all thing is kind of reminiscent of good Kurt Angle, goofy Kurt Angle that I love.
But I could actually kind of see why you don't like it. I'm going to get to that right now because like he goes over Jeff Hardy's like whole appeal with the crowd and the girls and like I get a lot of girls too, but I'm a one woman man, blah blah. He says,
No, you're not. That's a lie. That's
well,
a damn lie.
no. If you have a one-track mind when it comes to a woman,
And let's do the wife count again. How many are we at with both of them now? Jeff Hardy 1, Kurt Angle. How many
2.
exes?
Kurt Angle's got 2 ex-wives.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Jeff wins here.
one which we don't want to mention because the less we mention, the less chance there will be for her to return.
It's kind of like Lars.
Yeah, I guess so. But nonetheless, the very last reason he mentions, he's like, I've got hundreds of Kurt Angle T-shirts and hundreds of Kurt Angle action figures and posters. But when I go into my son's bedroom at night, I look at his posters, I turn on the nightlight, and I see all these Jeff Hardy posters. And then I go out of his room, I step on one of his action figures, and it's a Jeff Hardy action figure. So he basically...
And he's sleeping in a Jeff Hardy T-shirt and has socks on his arms and paint on his face while he's sleeping. Because kids do that.
On his face while he was sleeping.
They paint their faces and put socks on their arms to go to sleep.
So basically, Kurt Angle plumb admits that he's jealous, and he's like,
"That's a fine reason. That's a fine reason to dislike someone, but in wrestling, but the way he expressed it just rubbed me the wrong way. Because
I mean, I guess I was happy because like Kurt Angle wasn't his usual like super serial kind of very creepy, like glazed over expression kind of promo. Like it was one of his like very dim-wittedly arrogant ones. Not so much like the WWE, but
it was like he was having fun instead of creeping us all the fuck out.
Yeah, but I mean, at first it kind of seemed like he was going the whole Ric Flair versus Magnum TA thing. You know, like, you don't dress like a champion, you can't be a champion, you don't look like a champion. That kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Which, if done right, can still be good, but the way he was setting it up just didn't resonate with me.
Oh, believe me, I don't...
And then he switched to the whole kid thing, and that was just getting ridiculous to me.
I mean, as much as I had fun with it, like, I do agree that it probably won't, like, that probably won't be an aspect of the angle as the weeks go on, like...
And the other thing I don't like is, once again, Kurt Angle's kids are involved in the storyline.
Well, it's not really his kid. Until they're on TV, it's not like
but
his kids are
it's
involved.
always about his kids. It's always something to do with his kids. We're talking about his kids one way or another.
Well, what else are we going to talk about? We can't talk about how awesome Kurt Angle is anymore.
Well, yeah, that's true.
His kids have kind of ruined that for him. But nonetheless,
there's gotta be something, anything. It's
no sooner does he keep bitching than Jeff Hardy comes out and confronts him and basically says, "Yeah, like, I heard all your reasons and I have a solution. Jeff Hardy versus Kurt Angle at Victory Road." And they basically they start brawling. Like, Hardy slaps him in the face very abruptly. It looked funny. Yeah. I watched it over. It was quite stupid. And
you're sitting there like, play.
This
rewind,
is one of
play, rewind, play, rewind.
You want to get into like color coded TNA climate? This is maybe an orange because Al Snow and Simon Diamond come out. Not a D'Lo Brown red. No.
Yeah, nah. It wasn't a D'Lo Brown moment.
Yeah. Next time D'Lo Brown comes out to break up a brawl, when he pushes one guy to a corner, he's got to stop and do the little head thing at him, like, "Oh no, you don't."
No, actually, I just realized, and it has nothing to do, like, completely throw that joke out the window.
Yeah.
He doesn't come out anymore because the last time he did, he was over.
Yeah, they started chanting for him to get involved and do shit.
I completely forgot, or I almost forgot about that, but
yeah, I'm sorry to go back to this. It just sticks in my craw. It's like, Teddy Long, you can bank on him always making a tag team match. With Kurt Angle, you can always bank on someone mentioning his kids.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I can see that.
Something with bald people and having one fail-safe go-to thing.
Yeah, we'll get to more bald people after this next match.
I can see where you're coming from, though, Tifus, with the being tired of hearing about Kurt Angle's fucking kids thing. It makes sense.
So anyway, next we got another backstage segment. Well, the first backstage segment. Another non-wrestling segment. Bobby Roode is backstage, talking to the cameraman, reminding him that why he's the World Heavyweight Champion and that what Sting did was unprofessional and bad for business because he put himself in a main event when there's dozens of guys in the back that deserve a title shot. You know, like all those guys he said don't deserve a title shot 2 weeks ago. Which actually is a good heel move. I actually like that.
It's very hypocritical through his teeth because like obviously he groined Sting like the week before.
Yeah. And Austin Aries jumps in. He's like, they have a little circle jerk of we're both dominant champions. We're awesome.
That's it.
We're so cool. And Sting doesn't like us, and he's trying to keep us out of the spotlight and blah 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 blah. Twitter reference, blah 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 blah.
Yes, they make their Twitter references, but they're trying to be subtle with it.
Yeah, it's 1 point for TNA over WWE, I guess.
I guess so. Who knows?
It can't be a shutout.
But yeah, they basically say, "Do you have 5?" And Austin says, "I've got 10."
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Some very enticingly riveting and steamy angles forthcoming. But
where's War Machine when we need him?
Seriously.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
We need that automatic pen of his oratory skills going.
Hoist my title belt. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, God, no.
We'll get to the homoeroticism later. We will.
But yeah. Speaking of homoeroticism, Chris Daniels and AJ Styles' feud is showcased.
A lover's quarrel.
I mean, it kind of defeats the purpose because the entire pro wrestling as a performance art is homoerotic in itself. But AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels, hetero life mates to the extreme.
Every time they have a match, it's like, I
God,
love you. Next match, I hate you. Next match, I love you.
I don't give a shit about this fucking feud anymore.
I didn't give a shit about it the fourth time we saw this fucking feud.
Does anyone care at all?
We'll see. It's still Chris Daniels and AJ with Kazarian now.
Yeah, but recently Chris Daniels, I guess he did an interview or something where he said he loves the challenge of like competing with someone so many times and like the challenge of trying to keep it fresh. You're failing.
Yeah, they're not much good is being done with this. Especially now that like it's not even really about them anymore. But then again, I guess that's a good
about
thing.
Their new boy toy.
They're fighting for Kaz's soul.
But yeah, essentially, Christy Hemme announces this as a gauntlet match, and I don't recall this ever being hyped or foreshadowed or anything. But
very confusing.
Essentially, they cut a promo with each other, and AJ says like, "Okay, I beat you too, and you reveal the truth of what you're holding over Kazarian's head to like have him by the balls or whatever." And Daniel said, "Oh, like no, forget about it. This is not about you."
He's just jealous that he's not got him by the balls anymore.
Wow.
But yeah, their match is what you'd expect from these two. It was pretty much like Randy Orton and Christian. Like
yes, you guys have good matches. We don't care anymore.
Next.
Well,
next opponent. Come on.
Yeah, the whole highlight of the thing is Kazarian jumps in the ring in the midst of it, hits AJ with the fade to black, gets Daniels disqualified. So wait, how does that work? I don't want to think about it.
Then he attacked Daniels, so Daniels gets the DQ win, so he doesn't have to reveal his shit, which is stupid on Kaz's part, but convoluted, retarded.
So it's like we don't know if he's just being like the anti-hero by taking out AJ, or if he's just out for himself, or like I don't.
Did he just screw himself into more servitude, or does he like it, or what's Stockholm Syndrome? I don't know. What the hell's going on?
Not even Stockholm Syndrome, because he seems to be doing this in defiance of Daniels.
Yeah.
Who's really pissed off that he lost, and
further.
Kaz rubbing in his face saying that's a victory. Like that's kind of, I like it. Doesn't really seem like it'll make any sense. Another backstage promo between Madison Rayne and Gail Kim. Yeah, not much more to say about this. Madison Rayne's apologetic about winning the Battle Royal for the #1 contendership for the Knockouts title.
Worst villain ever. Could it be more obvious if she had a fucking sign tattooed on her fucking forehead? I'm being the villain. Do you get it? I'm the villain. I'm the bad person, and we're all supposed to be impressed that Gail Kim turned the tables on her by getting her a match with ODB. Ooh, really? Gail fucking outsmarted Madison Rayne.
Oh my gosh, it's so difficult. Because when I think crafty heels, I think Madison Rayne.
Well,
I just don't care.
But yeah, we got ODB versus Countess von Fingerbang over there.
what?
And
What?
yeah, there you go. Archer season 2. Ha
Anyway, yeah, ODB versus Madison Rayne. Actually, all right. ODB carries Rayne through a decent enough match, but nothing really notable. Oh yeah, there was this really bad spot though where ODB goes for the Bronco Buster and then Madison Rayne just pushes her away before she's able to like do the thrusts.
Well, there was this spot I remember is like, are you talking about the spot where ODB goes for the Bronco Buster and Madison Rayne gets her foot up late?
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be like, oh, Madison Rayne crosses her, but instead it looks like Madison Rayne sticks her boot right up OBD's alley.
Oh, that had to hurt.
Yeah, it was like that, and it also looked awkward, so
yeah.
didn't flow.
Because it's weird to have a fucking low blow spot in a match with two girls as is. It just looks bizarre-ish.
It's
but
really painful though. I mean,
wait, what?
It's just as painful for them as it is us.
I know, but it still looks weird to me sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah,
Maybe it's just me.
Especially when it's ODB.
Yeah,
because theoretically, like, we all know she's a woman. We all know that before she got plastic surgery, she was quite attractive. Would any of us be shocked if she wasn't? Or, you know what, never mind. I'm not gonna go there.
But yeah,
I think we've seen enough close-up shots of up there that we know she's not.
also, like,
God.
as a side note, Eric Young was involved in this match on the backstage doing his whole, like, apron walk, and is criminally underutilized for this episode of Impact.
Yeah, we didn't have a fucking Eric Young thing.
Yeah, we kind of did, but not really.
They have not been using their
Basically,
Eric Young properly.
Yeah, they haven't. But yeah, the finish, the whole big spot about this was Gail Kim about to hit ODB with the belt, but she quote unquote drops it. Like, it doesn't. Obviously, we know what the deal with that is, and ODB.
Yeah, it's
TKO.
and the spot looks weird because it looks like, because it's kind of telegraphed by Taz, who's like, oh well, looks like Gail Kim's having a fight with the apron there, and it's like, no, dummy. She's faking like she can't get in the ring. There's a way to say that, but it was never clarified, so it just made Gail look like a fucking dumbass.
All of it was really stupid. And honestly, going back to the whole Bronco Buster thing, I think for ODB, whenever she does it should be called the Muffin Pounder.
No, it's actually called the Bronco Muncher. But apparently they don't call it that way anymore. Like, I mean, I heard the word ass get bleeped, so it wasn't asshole. It was just ass.
That's odd.
Yeah, it is odd. Especially on Spike. You'd think that like 80% of their shows say that 80% of the time.
Where just a couple years ago we had Dixie Carter call Bischoff a smug little shit twice on a recorded shit.
Yeah.
And it never got bleeped out.
But after the match, like, Gail and Madison like have their confusion, a little turmoil, and then we recap Brandon Jacobs, the Giants Super Bowl winner who was barely in the game, if at all.
By the way, this second thing with Brandon Jacobs being on the show for a second week in a row, no one talked about it. So they got maybe a mention on a network, and then this week no one gave a shit.
Yep.
But,
way to go, TNA.
He chokeslams Bubba through a table. And basically the rest of the promo is just about how much he's pissed off about that. But it starts off with, for some reason, he's backstage and he's insulting duos. I don't know what she was doing there, and I don't.
Wait, he's insulting who?
Duos.
Wait,
What?
Wait, what?
That was her. She was there.
Man, you're gonna have so
Oh!
much explaining to do when she sees this segment.
Oh! No, that
God.
wasn't Duos. That was Velma.
Dude!
He is gonna kick your ass.
But
Man,
nonetheless,
Wait, whose ass?
Both
both
of your
of
ass.
you.
nonetheless, oh god, shit. Bubba Ray's basically insulting her, telling her how horrible she looks, and then he immediately switches gears to how pissed off at James Storm he is, like how he encouraged Brandon Jacobs to chokeslam him through a table. Nothing is more embarrassing than that. I guess he's trying to do like a kind of irony thing, but like they didn't really emphasize it in the right way. But nonetheless, I still like Bully Ray's blowhard dimwit. He's still doing it well.
He is entertaining. It's like, I wish TNA would give us a reason to care. When I watch the show, I just don't care. Even if I'm being entertained by whatever's happening on screen, I don't care that I'm being entertained. It's just like, oh, they're finally not doing something bad. Well, they should have been doing this all along.
Yeah, and it should actually fit somewhere. But Rude and Austin Aries walk in, and they basically kind of lobbied him and say it's not Storm's fault. It's Sting for bringing Brandon Jacobs in here in the first place and letting him ringside and not stopping him from going to the ring. So your grievance is our grievance, and basically they both tell him to call them in very like more suggestive than the last one. Aries in particular, but nonetheless, they're about to talk, like consolidate their plan when we cut to another knockout segment. 2 of them tonight.
Yay.
Honestly,
Hey.
yeah, I guess it's like WWE take note, and kinda.
Not really. It's more like we need shit to happen on this show because we just had a couple guys actually wrestle and we can't put other guys in the show. It's more like that.
Mm. And apparently, and now this next segment actually makes me wonder what happened to Winter. Like, if she's injured, if they're not interested in using her, because she was nowhere to be found in the scene where Angelina Love and Sarita attack Velvet Sky. Sorry. But nonetheless, they have a brawl, and Mickie James in her training outfit, which consists of a basketball training top, of shorts, and I believe a hippie headband.
Yeah.
That was notable, I suppose.
Yawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, tag team match. If they had Teddy Long there to book it, then probably would have been a lot better.
Yeah, pretty much.
We have our after that our mercifully short Gunner and Garrett Bischoff segment, where Ric Flair basically says like, "Good to see you here this week. Better not see you here next week." Garrett says, "Nope, I'm going to be here next week."
And finally, we get Ric Flair back on TV.
Yeah, Gunner stands there acting like a douche.
Yay.
It's going to be interesting what they do regarding him in the WWE Hall of Fame this year.
And yeah.
We still haven't reached a decision about that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Ric Flair. Isn't the rumor that he's going to induct them? Like just as like the opposite end of their feud.
As far as I understand, he wants to be there, but TNA is not allowing it because of contract stuff. So it's going to be one of those things like, if WWE pushes the issue, TNA is going to try and sit there and say, oh, they're trying to fucking, ruin our business. But if TNA doesn't allow it, there's no one in the world that would not call them assholes.
Yeah, well, whether or not they try not to do it, I'm sure Vince McMahon could just buy the fuck out of it if he really cares. But, I mean, he probably won't.
No, he won't. He won't buy TNA.
No, I'm not saying buy TNA. Just like buy out Ric Flair's use, like for not even really that much.
Yeah.
But our next, I guess you could call this an important segment, is Rude, Bubba, and Aries. Coming in to reflect upon Sting's tweet where he simply said, "I'm done." All interpreted as meaning like I'm through with this company, but really he's just Joker Sting. They basically say, "Okay, Sting, you're done. Well, Aries, Bully Ray, and I are also done," and they have a sit-in in the middle of the ring.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Ugh. Fucking sit-in the middle.
Why is Austin Aries here?
Because he's a heel.
Oh yeah. Wait. There is one.
Why is Austin Aries here? I'm confused.
He
Because he's a
according
heel.
to him, he says his division has been held down, and like he's like a prestigious champion. He deserves to be in the main event. Like he like there's a glass ceiling on the X division. Yada yada yada. I don't mind his presence. Like it's all right, but like the one in the segment who's responsible for my favorite line is Sting. But he like the lights darken, he interrupts their sit-in and basically says, "Bobby, if you say you're done, I say I'm taking the heavyweight championship away from you." And as if Bobby Roode didn't understand that this was what would be entailed from him quitting.
He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Come on.
You mean that
You're not serious, right?
that I signed a
You're not going to
contract
take
with
my
the company?
title away. I mean, I know I said I'd leave the company, but I get to keep the title, right? Isn't that what happens?
It happens all the time. Like, every single time.
And actually, like, to put over one reason of why I like Bully Ray's character so much, and is actually I would agree with you to some extent, but part of the reason why it's so appealing and funny to me is that he basically is not a factor at all, because what Sting threatens to do to him is bite his finger off. It doesn't like it's like you could just see, and of course he's very shocked by that threat.
Well, who wouldn't be? I mean, damn it, we're on a televised show where no one ever loses a limb. Oh my god, he's gonna bite my finger off.
Yeah.
It's not like there's been guys that have been stabbed backstage and kidnapped by ninjas or anything.
You know.
Or randomly dragged out from the audience and tortured with cameras and police all over the place not doing shit.
Yeah. But Sting
Seriously, why haven't the cops knocked down the fucking door at Impact yet?
Because they don't care.
The Impact Zone is a pocket dimension that can't be accessed by the outside world, although it could be observed.
Ironclad contracts.
They're on the take.
Both of those things are fucking horrifying, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But
He basically says to Austin Aries, "Yeah, you're going to lose your belt too, blah, yada yada." And if you want to be in the main event, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you three in a 6-man tag match against the World Tag Team Champions. This is my favorite line: Magnus and Joe's going to kill you. That's how he announced it.
and that's a great way to announce it.
And James Storm. I like James Storm, but motherfuck, it's Joe's going to kill you.
Yep.
My favorite performer. The ring name just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, doesn't it? Joe's gonna kill you. Can't you just see that on fucking t-shirts everywhere? Not spelled like Joe is gonna kill you, but literally spelled like Joe's gonna kill you.
Yep.
That's a name you can market right there, folks.
And the lights go out and they come back on and Sting is gone.
Yeah, but with that lighthearted sentiment, oh crap. Yeah, we're gonna have to sort of take a dark turn. Although there is like one thing that I have to say about this, what they're doing with this Jesse Sorensen angle. Basically, like, it's insensitive. Yeah. The whole thing is like they have footage of him with his neck brace on in the hospital, saying like he just wants to like return to the ring, and immediately after they cut to Zema Ion talking about like how proud he is that he broke Jesse Sorensen's neck. He talks to the cameraman. He says he's like, "Oh, I'll snap your neck in a second."
At which point, our foxy friend Backlash kindly said, "I quit."
Yeah, I'm But
if I didn't have to watch it,
it's one thing to use an injury for an angle, but
no, but I wouldn't even argue from that perspective. Like, I wouldn't like, I just wouldn't like attribute to this to like the massive cesspool that is TNA. Like, it's not a product of their incompetence because like they aren't the example. WWF has done this on multiple occasions. ECW was probably like people like Justin Credible brag about taking out the Sandman. Shane Douglas taking out Pitbull 1. Like I forgot. Oh yeah, Chris Benoit was given the name of the Crippler because of the botch that he and Sabu did. It just like it's been a history. Like Owen 316 says, "I just broke your neck." The whole quad thing with Jericho.
Yeah.
It's true that it's not like it doesn't get mentioned, but it's still kind of
it's still not a good thing to do. Like
it's the way they did it.
And plus, like, this is just like a horrible case in particular. Like, it's almost like akin to Jericho bragging about Triple H's quad because, like, from what I understand, Jesse Sorensen's going to be out for a year.
Yeah.
If he's ever able to wrestle again, period.
And it's like, even if they just do this even if they just exploit this for like one episode of Impact, it's why would they do that in the first place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing.
It's an unfortunate thing for a heel to take advantage of to get heat.
It's a natural thing too, though.
Yeah,
okay.
But it's definitely has its history.
There's ways to do it that's much more creative and less offensive.
Yeah, but
there was.
What?
Or at least you would hope there'd be better ways to do it. I just wish they hadn't done it, period, really.
It depends entirely on the severity of the injury and where the person that's injured is along their way of coming back and everything like that. You know, like right now, it's still up in the air on whether or not he's even going to be able to wrestle again. That's not the time to do it.
Yeah.
Like, even if it came out that, yeah, he's definitely not going to be able to wrestle again, yeah, okay, then you could kind of milk it. Be like, you know, have, what's-his-face go out there and be like, yeah, Zion go out there and be like, next time he gets into a feud with someone, just be like, just remember what happened to Jesse Sorensen and shit, like, just something in passing like that. That'd be okay. But with this, showing a video of the guy saying that's all he wants, showing his mother crying. I mean, I don't care who you are. That's someone's mom, and those are real tears because that's a real injury. And then and with everything still up in the air, having Zema Ion follow that immediately following his mom's tears, saying, "Ha ha, you suck. I'm glad I did it. I'm going to do it again." That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucking squicky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting into uncomfortable territory, which may not be which most likely not the reaction that you want to get for your heels.
But it gets us right into the next match, though, which is Zema Ion versus jobber number 4,782 in TNA on his, what is this now, his 8th time of being reverted back to a jobber.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Shannon Moore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I remember when he first came in, like under the tutelage of Jeff Hardy, and of course there was only one priority in terms of like who was gonna get over. It appeared that Shannon Moore was gonna be skyrocketing through the X Division, but no, I don't care. I'm glad. I would have rather, instead of them having Shannon Moore, them bring in Jimmy Wang Yang. He's a much better wrestler.
Well, honestly though, Shannon Moore is not a bad wrestler, and he's had sparks here and there where. If they had latched on and booked in the right way...
See, the thing is, like,
he could be a very interesting X Division champion. But...
I wasn't against Ink Inc. at all. Like...
But they never use him right at all.
And, see, that's the thing, like...
In Ink Inc., they shoved that whole dilly gaff thing down our throats. It's just like...
Oh, yeah. That was wrong. But then they started to get better, and then of course, they did the whole Young Bucks thing of them having a rift in the tag team, so of course they have to do it with thinking.
Yeah.
And of course then they just completely like cock slap.
Abandoned it.
You're gonna have to go to OVW. I don't want to do that. I'm sure I could benefit from being on TV. No, we don't need you then.
I've been a tag team champion. You want me to go to OVW? Yeah. Fuck you.
But yeah, really can't say much about this. Can't say much about this. Like Zema Ion wins with a face buster to the knee. Pretty much, like you can't really separate.
We spent entirely too long talking about Zema fucking Ion.
Yeah, we did. They forced us to, though. It's their fault.
Fuck, I wish we would talk about Zema Ion extensively, doing a much better and more fitting angle, but no.
He's a good kid. He's just in a shitty fucking angle.
In a shitty fucking company.
Yeah.
This is also true.
I wonder if Jesse Sorensen's going to file workers' comp claim.
Who knows? I mean, it's a wonder he's even like cutting these like confessional promos.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, let's move on to what I was basically suspending the Final Fantasy 13 gets better moment. This was a good 6-man tag match.
Wait. Before we go, we have to mention there was a video package for Abyss.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And also, I just have to go on
that
record.
guy still exists.
I want to go on record since you mentioned it again. I personally find that there is no good part of any Final Fantasy.
I disagree, but that's not a discussion for this podcast.
No, there's like a 5,000 page long thread on Spoonie's forums. That's a good discussion for that bullshit.
But yeah, the thing about Abyss is that like the way they're featuring him, like with them basically having to remind us that he's around, almost kind of reminds me of what they were doing with him last year when he got Janissed by Crimson. Like
Got Janissed by Crimson too?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Damn.
He got Janissed by everyone, dude. Twice.
Like he's the only person that got hit by Janice.
The Janice bicycle.
Yeah. What?
What?
You heard me.
I did.
That doesn't mean it makes sense.
Crazy shit on the show, Megafighter.
Who's stopping me?
You're fired.
Oh.
That's like the third time I've been fired on the show.
Well, you're more fired than you were before.
I can't be more fired.
Can I be fired too?
But
No.
yeah,
I really don't want to finish talking about TNA. I'm fucking done.
Oh, dude, I'm not like this is what I was. Again,
there's no good part of Final Fantasy. Leave me alone.
Not even. No need for the Final Fantasy comparison. Basically, what was great about this match is that the operative feud here is Bobby Roode and James Storm. The whole thing was building up to that, and Roode was ducking him throughout the match. But at the same time, they also had a good delineation for every other participant. Like Samoa Joe and Brutus Magnus were trying to prove themselves, and like kind of Samoa Joe was like sort of having his like renaissance as like a dominant guy. Magnus is like looking impressive, but he's still the young guy, and like he's the most inexperienced. That was put over well in the match. And throughout, you have the effect of Bobby Roode basically relying on Bully Ray and Austin Aries. Like they're showboating, they're doing their spots, but at the same time, they also have to pick up like a huge amount of slack. At the same time, though, like with Bobby Roode doing this, and like with James Storm's preoccupation, he's also distracting Samoa Joe and Brutus Magnus and playing mind games with them with the way like he's sort of being around the sidelines, but still like throwing in kicks from like the apron, stuff like that, throwing in a bunch of offense. At around like the 10-minute mark of this, James Storm and Bobby Roode finally face off, and like the crowd has a pretty decent reaction. It would be about as good of a moment as you could get, like without them facing off for the title in a adequately built up feud.
Yeah.
But it pretty much culminates in Storm getting the last call on Rude and pinning him. Faces win.
I got a problem with that. Because that's a fucking main event of, quote-unquote, their biggest pay-per-view of the year.
Oh, Lockdown?
Yeah.
Their third WrestleMania, or their first WrestleMania, I guess.
On the
On my
calendar,
calendar.
first WrestleMania, yeah.
They're trying to catch up to WrestleMania really fast.
But isn't it after WrestleMania?
I mean,
Oh.
as far as number of their biggest show of the years go.
But yeah, that's TNA. It's once again that perfect like sort of.
It's a perfect storm of interesting aspects being wasted in a larger pool.
Yeah.
Of,
Took the word.
why are you even trying this?
Yes.
And honestly, I'm glad they're finally giving Samoa Joe something to do. They're finally starting to push him a little bit. And unfortunately,
yeah,
with the history,
He'll never be where he
I don't
was
trust him to
before.
follow through.
yeah, he'll never be the same as he was, at least in TNA. Like he needs to start like working harder and in terms of like
Well, how hard
shape and like
work?
his second chance would have.
How hard can you expect a guy to work when he's been like treated like they've treated him? Randomly starting and stopping so many goofy ass, over the top fucking gimmicks with him when he's just a serious monster is all he needs to be.
I mean, yeah,
All he wants to, that's all he needs to be, and that's all. And that's the one thing they refuse to let him be.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, he could either be the serious monster, or he could be just like a very casual badass. Like, he's very good at doing that.
Yeah.
Just having like a very nonchalant.
He's exactly like Taz was back in his prime.
Yeah.
And any other character quirks that he develops or anything like that can just evolve naturally from that starting point. You don't need to force all this shit on him that he's had forced on him.
The pants, the machete.
The ninjas.
The losing streak. Probably the worst thing you could do to anyone, especially one that like people are so used to being like a fixture and dominant.
The random masturbation.
I mean, as
losing streak tomorrow. Trust me.
It's like as much as like AJ, as much as we complain that AJ isn't surrounding the main event these days, it's like he's in a considerably better position than Samoa Joe.
He's been treated so much better.
I mean, then again, Joe has gold, so like I guess you could say that like they're trying to reestablish him.
Yeah, and honestly, with that's the real big key difference there, though, is even if we are tired of seeing AJ do the same old feud with Daniels, even if even if his feuds are really, really cheesy and poorly booked and poorly worked out, at least they have a start, a middle, and an end.
Yeah.
I mean, you can track his career pretty fluidly. It's pretty easy to follow, even if it is nonsensical at times.
Basically, AJ's never had to paint a giant dick on his face and threaten someone with a cardboard knife.
And that's the thing with Joe. It's like, okay, so then Joe started doing this. Okay, what happened next? Well, then he started doing this. Well, what happened to this other thing? Oh, yeah, don't worry about that. He started doing this.
Oh, you mean that time he got kidnapped by ninjas? Oh, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah,
You're not going to talk. That's been mentioned like 10 times.
Yeah.
On this episode alone.
Well, we're the only ones talking about it.
Didn't that happen like 2 years ago today? It's like somewhere around this time.
Yeah, about, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what it is? It's the exact same thing about Chris Brown and Rihanna. The industry refuses to talk about it. But everyone else is like, wait a minute.
This shit happened.
Songs happen. And they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. But it's right there. You can see it. No, no, we don't know what no. Here's a new match, or here's a new album.
Here, have a Grammy. But, no.
God.
Oh, God.
Swear to God, if Vince Russo wins a Grammy, I'm done.
What?
No, I think Vince Russo has like more chance of winning an Oscar. He just needs to like be lucky enough to make a good song in someone's film. So he could join like Trent Reznor and fucking Brent McKenzie.
Well, first he has to write something that's appealing to a bunch of 70-year-old out-of-touch losers.
No, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
Yeah.
God.
At this point, we should probably...
Sorry, done.
Yeah, that was
all
TNA
we
for the
got
week.
left is what gets more screen time.
Taylor Swift goes up to accept another Grammy, and a hooded figure jumps on stage. It's Kanye. No, wait. Shit. It's Vince Russo.
Yeah.
I would pay money to see that, actually.
Me too.
Hmm.
If for no other reason than the Lorax.
Wait, what?
She's the voice of the girl in the Lorax.
She's also apparently dating Tim Tebow.
Yeah, she deserves it all around.
God damn it, we're giving Allie a hard time, aren't we?
No.
Sorry.
No.
You know, it's a first run. He's not gonna go. We're not gonna go easy on him.
Shut up.
At any rate, it is now time for everybody's favorite game. What gets more screen time than Jay Lethal? I'm going to go and I'm going to say obvious villains being obvious still gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
You got one anyway? Like, I'll go. Duos gets more screen time than...
Oh.
That's Velma.
Oh.
I am going to tell on you. I'm going to laugh I'm going to laugh when she fucking kills you.
Okay.
Wait, tell on who?
Let's go tell
I had
on
a
them
good one.
together. Anyway,
No, it wasn't, actually.
to piggyback on No Leaf's, a big boot going up ODB's alley and stopping the flow gets more screen time. Jay Lethal.
Oh, that's not right.
I
wanted to make that joke earlier, but we moved on too fast.
Yeah, do it. What do you got, Fighter?
Come on, Megafighter.
All right. Bully Ray slapping Austin Aries on the ass gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. War Machine, get to it.
Oh, he's got plenty of fuel from this episode.
Yeah, they are just giving it away now.
I've got 5 minutes. I've got 10.
Call me.
Yeah, that was the Dark Match. You could follow us on Twitter at darkmatchraslin.com. Someone else do this.
You can follow us on Twitter at DarkMatchRaslin. You can like us on Facebook, subscribe to our channel on Blip and on YouTube, and you can also see all of our individual Twitter handles.
And you can talk to us directly in lengthy discussions on spooningexperiment.com/forum.
Also, don't forget to check out our videos, because we're the only videos up there right now on treproductions.wordpress.com.
Woo! Go Tony!
And be sure to check us out on the Utopia community section.
We're networking. We're big time.
She plug.
YouTube, Blip,
Yeah,
you get a new car. You
like
get a new car. You get a new car.
We're like ECW on TNN. We only advertise on our own show.
I can't stop referencing 3-year-old jokes. And with that, I guess we ought to sign off and bid you all adieu. So, for Dark Match, I'm Tiefus.
I'm Christopher Says.
I'm Megafighter 3, and I said practically nothing this episode. Did you guys notice that?
No.
Yes, it was quite refreshing.
Oh,
Fuck you.
Try harder.
And I am
I'll just fight
No
it.
Leaf Clover. For everyone here in the Dark Match, good night.
I'm in
and
the
good
danger
luck.
zone!
No, you're not. We're never in the danger zone ever again.